It seemed pretty clear from early on reporting that Bryan Baker came in with some changes and he was looking like a different guy.
Yeah, look, Mel, I saw him early in spring training, late February, and I tell you what, Bryan Baker impressed me right away. The velo was up, like he was sitting bullpens 95, 96, and then when he threw his first live, I stood behind him and watched him throw. The velo was 97, 98, so you could tell Bryan Baker was on a mission, Mel. And the biggest reason why, this is a big year for him, obviously he's out of options. So if the Orioles would have, if he wouldn't have made the club out of spring training, the Orioles would have had to try to pass him through waivers, and with an arm like that, somebody certainly would have grabbed him. So Bryan Baker wanted to open some eyes for the Orioles, but he was also trying to open and turn some heads for everybody in Major League Baseball to say, hey, if the Orioles don't want me, I know somebody else will.
Well, and you mentioned that. He has said, too, that he felt like some months in his past couple of years, he could be blindfolded and really dot up a zone and be accurate, and then it would just fall apart. So the consistency was really the biggest part of his delivery it seemed he was searching for, and it started with the arm slot.
Yeah, I mean, I think they had some talks and discussions in the offseason about where he was. And there, take a look at the arm slot. You see where he was in 21, 60, and in 57, he had his very best year in 22. He had 66 appearances with a very good ERA, Mel. Then the arm slot climbed back up in 23, and then he got it to 57 and 24. But you see where it is now, Mel? He's dropped down to 51 degrees here in 2025. And I visited with Mitch Plasmeyer, assistant pitching coach, yesterday about this, and he said this is all by design. He said, we felt like if we get Bryan Baker to drop his arm slot down slightly from where it's been, get a little bit more closer to what it was in his best season of 2022, not only would he throw the ball harder, he would have more accuracy, and he'd get that life on his fastball that he wanted. And what he was trying to get is a little bit more of ride, but left to right action as well, Mel. And it's paid off. You can see that the fastball this year has been really, really good. It's got a 1 mile per hour harder, and it's ripping it through the zone with a little light carry to it. There he is on the left in 24 last year, up 97. See, that ball actually cut a little bit, Mel, and that was more straight, 98 miles an hour. So he can still push it up there in 24. But you see, it's pretty much straight with a little bit of cut to it. Now you fast forward to 2025, and now the action on the fastball is a little bit different. See how that left to right run right there? Still high velocity, but he's almost got that left to right. I compare it to Grayson Rodriguez's fastball. Grayson Rodriguez's ball explodes kind of up and away a little bit, and that's kind of where Bryan Baker is right now. So the four-seam horizontal break, see in 2024, only about 2.5 inches of horizontal break. 2025, he's nearly doubled that, Mel. It's 4.4 inches of a horizontal break. So he is getting exactly what he wants. He's getting that high velocity with a little bit more life, and that's kind of what he's looking for. So far, it's been good. And how about the accuracy? Has not walked a batter yet. 7 strikeouts in his 4 appearances, 4 2/3. He's been outstanding so far.
And this, we're excited to see it because we've seen that overall Baker's body of work between here and AAA for the most part has been good, and perfectly summed up by him that some months it was just gone. Now, the other thing he kind of accidentally stumbled into before spring training even was changing his changeup grip. He said it just kind of fell into his hand one day, and he loved it because he also felt more accurate with the way that he kind of put his fingers behind the seams this time instead of in front of it. But changeup is really playing nicely off that fastball with those fixes.
Yeah, I mean, in the years past, his changeup has been pretty good at times, Mel, but there were some times where he slowed his arm, he slowed his motion down, he tipped that pitch off sometimes. So he wanted to kind of land on something that was more consistent. I was visiting with him in spring training. He said about 3 weeks before he got to spring training, he was just playing catch one day, and he grabbed the ball by the seam-shifted wake, and the way the ball was, he threw the traditional circle change like everybody else threw. He circled it, and he really pronated it, and he turned it over like that, Mel. He's not a pronator. Most pitchers are either pronators or supinators. Kyle Bradish is a supinator, throws a lot of curveballs this way. Pronated is when you kind of turn it this way, okay? Well, Bryan was never consistent with that pitch. He said, I'm not used to turning the ball over. So that new grip you talked about with the seam-shifted wake and the way the ball hits the air of the ball, now he's just got a basic change-up grip where he's not having to do this, Mel. He's not having to pronate it and turn it over. He's just throwing it just like his fastball. Well, it's a lot more consistent. He is actually selling that pitch now. It looks like the fastball coming out of the hand, and he's got the action on it that he wants. You see in 2024, 13.2 inches of horizontal break. Now he's got 15.4, so that's over 2 inches more. And what I love about it, Mel, it's more consistent, it's a little bit slower, but now he's got a pitch that he absolutely trusts. And you could see early in spring training, he was using it. It was very good. So, you know, we always say this, right? You're either getting better or you're getting worse as a baseball player. You're never staying the same. Bryan Baker realized he had to change a few things with some tips from the pitching coaches from the Orioles. A little bit different arm slot, a little bit different grip on the changeup. and it's been great so far.
And we love to see it. We've got a lot to look forward to today. Ben, we'll let you go ahead and wrangle Kevin up there as we get you ready for first pitch.
All right, Mel, keep your beanie cap on. It's kind of cool out